games in Milwaukee, and another homestand will begin against the Texas Rangers this upcoming weekend. And we'll see the Pirate batting order as they hope to come. Endy Rodriguez, Henry Davis, Leobar Pinheiro, and then
for stats, it'll be making his third start as a Twin. Dallas Keuchel, one good, one not so good. There's some good at-bats in this series, but the mixture of the stuff, and I think so many of these young hitters now see so much of a...
And Wallner, good to see Matt back in the starting lineup. Luis Correa, Julian Solano, the in. Here's Bay. First pitch chopped up the line. That is a foul ball.
Well, the see if he can do that here again today. That start against the Diamondbacks in his mind as well.
Dug out of the dirt, 1-1. Wave and a miss, 1-2. So the breaking ball off the plate.
Key form as well.
Chopped up the line. Keuchel to the bag. Not the most experienced first baseman, but the left-handed starter still.
Until he knows he can't get the ball, and then continues on to the base. And Solano, he did get his
squibbers, and now he'll have a much easier play to make. 2 away.
Fashion, right? It's moving a little differently.
This is the one. And a strike, 1-1.
And if he's getting that. Oh.
Right at the knees. 3-1 with Ke'Bryan Hayes. And McCutchen takes all the way in. The ground ball from deep third. Lewis fires across. It looks like Dallas Keuchel is on his game. And we'll see what happens here in this homestand finale. And with a left-handed starter, George Luplow will lead things.
Pirates today, his stats brought to you by Home Furniture. Second start of the season, he pitched Highland Park, Illinois.
Outside ball 1.
Corey was very.
Okay. Well, then past that, there really isn't much of a similarity. We assume Luplow takes up and away, 2-1.
Yeah, did July 22nd.
Couple of hops. Hayes is there. Williams, right side of the infield. Figueroa and Joe with Solano takes up and away. I thought it interesting listening to pitching coming off the bench when in fact he's become as close.
He's just forced his way into the lineup.
Senior statesman on this.
But they have no idea where they'd be without him in the first half with everything he's done. Consistency of his plate appearances.
And it's just fascinating for those of us who love the game how you just first place team. Chasing there, a strikeout for out number 2. The crew chief Laz Diaz behind the plate.
Spots.
Hard ground ball, but hit right at Pinheiro.
Pitcher, end of story. Rocco also said he started thinking about virtually the entire game. Offensively, you always want to get out to an early lead.
Opener. Fly ball center field, and steps Taylor. From doing that.
Well, I think the protocol is exchange the starting if you can get an advantage from it. To get leverage in the matchups.
The teams that still do it, the Twins have done it once this year, but the teams that scooped up. Louis Rocco actually played for Derek Shelton as a coach with the Rays. Create greater reluctance to use an opener, where if you take, in this case, Barak
can play the game and not baseball, but play the Twins starting rotation, and so you have to try to find a way to navigate your way through a 162 game schedule, and that's all part of the strategy of it, and I like that.
Well, here's the bulk pitcher. Oswald, second inning, and try to eat up some innings.
But how do you counter that? Well, you do it on the pitching side, so it's something you don't like or being used.
And another good inning for Keuchel, and 1 strike to Polanco and a drive foul, 2 strikes.
As a team, and you have to take your starter out after 3 innings, not necessarily an opener situation, but your guy.
I was just going to ask if that's backwards or forwards.
I was just going to say that too. Is that?
I go KU. Well, I'll offer my opinion from the fan standpoint. As a kid, I went to Busch Stadium in St. Louis, and I saw a game with the price of admission. And now Julian takes a called third strike. Who did you see pitch last night? Well, it was this guy. He was the bulk pitcher, and that guy was the bulk pitcher.
Well, some offense happened late. I mean, Keller was dominant. He had as good a stuff as we've seen from.
0-2 to Lewis.
But I'm with you. The way I look at it.
Toward the hole. Williams comes up firing. Brian Barecki. No base runners so far through 2 innings. A Twins group outing is a great way to have fun with. Leading off the third.
Oh my.
Pulled foul.
Yeah, we've got video of it. We'll take a look at it when we have a chance here. But
on the bases, they end an inning at the plate, and they've shown feel. 4-4.
there just has to be an understanding that we're not robots. I don't know.
Fly ball in is Luplow. Man.
Up.
Well, that's the problem I have with the rule is the hitter has to be looking at the pitcher, but there's nothing in your instincts just watching him. He's watching the whole thing happening. All he could just thrown his arms up and said, "Hey, restart it," or is the.
Well, and that's in some ways a maybe opportunity.
1-1. We all like the 25-minute save this year, and it comes out to about 3 days that we will save this year, and all we're really missing. Rounder to Sharp. Sonny Gray had 5 perfect innings last night. And he took it out of the box. Good to see. Taylor in the Twins' third. And there is strike one. And the Pirates are hoping he'll be the bulk pitcher, I guess, to
determine on how much success he has.
Very high 1-2 to Jeffers.
Also the same combination starter, so there's nothing stopping them. I said if we understand this lefty's going to start up and gain an advantage there.
Foul back 2-2. Foul back to the screen. Strikeouts in the ball game last night. Bounced to third. Second hop, third hop came up for Hayes.
Mitch Keller was good last night. Those 3 batters, he didn't miss a strikeouts. They come at the wrong time, but you also have to give credit to the pitcher and what he was able to do. He was just nasty both sides of the plate. Sinker in, sinker away. Sweep went to another level. Mitch Keller took it to another level.
Low now 3-1 to Waller on his ability to check his swing. This one popped up over by the top. And with room, Taylor with a swing and a miss.
Yeah, I mean, back to the strikeouts. I think not all strikeouts are created. You got to make some contact here. He didn't allow that to happen. Oh, we were talking about this last night. That was as good a starting stuff as we've seen. And he just went out there and games where you look back and go, all right, maybe we shouldn't have struck out that many times. Last night was a little different just based on how the guy was pitching against him.
1-2 to Michael A. Laced it. And Taylor's a bull.
So he's got the heavy sink.
Inside to Gallo. Twins pinch hitting Gallo here in the third. 2-0 to Gallo.
And so when you got a sink.
4 quadrants. It's kind of the opposite with a.
Taylor checked it first.
So it's a little more of a narrow focus on the baseball.
2-2 to Gallo.
Against that type of pitch. Ooh.
Dropped into the box. But
Gallo here. The only reason he doesn't get that call is because.
And a strikeout ends the third inning. Twins get a base hit. The only hit